everybody, so welcome to day 2 of our spooky series in December. Today is about Amelia Earhart and who she was and her disappearance and all things like that. I've honestly been so obsessed with Amelia Earhart ever since I was like really little, so this one I'm very excited for. So I hope you guys enjoy and let's get into the video. Amelia Earhart was born on July 24th, 1897 to Amelia Otis and Edwin Earhart. Her father was an alcoholic, and because of this, as she grew up, she lived mainly with her grandparents on her mother's side in an upper middle class family. Amelia's first time in an airplane was during a 10-minute ride during a plane show, an air show in Long Beach. In 1920, she saved up all the money she could, she worked all the jobs she could, and by 1921, she was able to purchase her first airplane. She purchased a second-hand Kenner Airster biplane painted bright yellow, and she nicknamed it the Canary. Amelia Earhart had set records for female pilots at that time. You know, back then it was not common for women to be wanting to learn how to fly planes or to be really have anything to do with workforce of that extent. So Amelia Earhart was the 16th female to be getting her piloting license by the government. In 1925, she had put aside her aviation. At this point, her parents had gotten divorced and she had moved with her mom to California. She started school at Columbia University but was forced to drop out because her family just simply could not afford it. She went on to get some jobs and make a real living for herself, and she started off as a teacher and went on to be a social worker. By 1927, she had gotten back into flying, and in 1928, she did her first ever transatlantic flight as a passenger. She went alongside pilot Wilmer "Bill" Stoltz. On the 20th of May, 1932, she became the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. July 2nd, 1937, Earhart was on a flight with her navigator, Fred Noonan, when they had gone missing. They went missing somewhere near Howland Island in the Pacific Ocean. They had been trying to fly around the world. 66 aircrafts and 9 ships were sent out to look for them, and none of them found anything. What happened to the 2 of them is still a mystery to this day, although obviously we have our theories on what may have happened. We are going to be talking about the 2 biggest theories on what happened to Earhart and Noonan. The first theory is that people think that the plane was ditched or crashed at sea and the 2 simply disappeared. Because of this, nobody would have been able to find them because of where they were over the ocean. They would have just disappeared into the depth of the ocean and drowned. Many aviators and navigators and investigators all believe in this theory, saying that it was poor planning and worse execution. The second theory, I'm going to be reading it off of biography.com, and it says, another theory is that Earhart and Noonan might have flown without radio transmission for some time after their last radio signal landing at uninhabited Nukumaro Reef, a tiny island in the Pacific Ocean 350 miles southeast of Howland Island. This island is where they would ultimately die. This theory is based on several on-site investigations that have turned up artifacts such as improvised tools, bits of clothing, an aluminum panel, and a piece of plexiglass the exact width and curvature of an electro window. In May 2012, investigators found a jar of freckle cream on a remote island in the South Pacific, in proximity to their other findings that many investigators believed belonged to Earhart. I have also seen in some other sources I could not find while I was looking for this, but I have found while I was looking in the past was that they found a briefcase or like a suitcase type thing that they believe was Amelia Earhart's on this island, and people think that Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan lived on an island for a while, either as captives or because they chose to. Now, I don't know how credible that is. I don't think that happened. I think that it was simply just poor timing. They were on the hardest part of their flight, and that maybe they hit bad weather or something, and the plane just went down, disappearing with Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan inside of it. Alright, you guys, so that was another little short spooky type video for you guys. Less spooky, more conspiracy, more fun, more history. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another scary video. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye!